How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Magnificent. If you like to farm the Magnificent for yourself, you're going to want to fast travel over to Varash's Canopy on Eden 6, making your way over towards the left-hand side of the map, and making your way to the save station just in front of this open swamp. From there, you're going to carry on forward into this little Jabber hut where Jabbermogwai will spawn out of. Now keep in mind with Jabbermogwai, if you bring along some cryo damage, dealing cryo damage to him will actually duplicate him, meaning that you can farm him without having to reset your run. But either through killing him or various clones of him, you can get yourself the Magnificent. The Magnificent is a legendary Vladof pistol able to roll with 1 to 2 projectiles per shot for 1 to 2 ammo per shot respectively. The Magnificent is able to roll in non-elemental, incendiary, and corrosive, and is able to come with any of the pistol underbarrels. As the Magnificent uses the caught barrel, it does have a spool up time, with the unique effect of simply having a very large mag size and with that a very long reload time. The Magnificent has received 2 buffs, the initial being a 25% weapon damage increase, which was later followed up by a 200% weapon damage increase. Yeah, listen, 200% weapon damage increase on top of a initial 25%, you know where this is going. The damage of the Magnificent is very, very good. But first, let's talk about the variants. Between ×2 and ×1, I actually really like both of them. ×2 can be a little unwieldy without some sort of ammo regen, but it's not completely unusable. Even with the double barrel active, you can get a lot of use out of it, but you are definitely guaranteed to run dry pretty quick. Again, you can get a lot of value before you run out, just not for a very long period of time. Which is why ×1 is what I would recommend for most builds for most Vault Hunters. It's just far easier to use and get value out of without having ammo regen. And for underbarrel, I do think double barrel is just the best. Taser and zip rockets just aren't that great, and while they do give you some pretty decent stats, Taser being 10% mag size and zip rockets being 5% fire rate, the double barrel also provides a base 5% fire rate, but when active can provide a 25% to 37.5% fire rate increase, which really is just providing more value even if it does come at the cost of accuracy. Though that being said, double barrel is a bit of a blessing and a curse. As I said, I do think double barrel is the most value that you can get, but I'm not totally sure it's always worth having active without that ammo regen. It definitely gives you a lot more damage and the mag size is large enough to sustain it for a decent amount of time, but you are running through your reserves a lot faster. On top of that, the drop in accuracy while it's active does mean the normal barrel is better for longer ranges. But for as simple as the Magnificent is, its overall usability is incredible. This done easily works well into True Guardian Takedown. And while it is an incredibly simple weapon, it is incredibly effective and does actually have some pretty cool synergies. Namely, this is some of the best value you can get out of the next 2 mags anointments, because minimum you are getting 210 bullets with next 2 mags active out of 1 proc of it. You'll pretty much never run through that before you're able to activate it again in a majority of situations. The big mag isn't all great though, because you are only getting 11.5 reloads total out of this before you empty your reserves, and that's just with the base magazine. This of course does get very big value out of mag size increases, but that just gives you less total reloads. That being said, this doesn't really mean anything because you are still firing out all of your ammo for a 1-to-1 trade-off, but if you are playing a character with a lot of fire rate, you can blast through those magazines very quickly. I also loved using the Magnificent on Amara because of Dread. Dread just lets you completely ignore the reload as long as you get a kill during Grasp, and because the mag is so big, odds are you won't be dumping out an entire mag before you get Grasp back up unless you're trying to specifically do that. So as long as that reload can be, if you're playing an Amara build that makes use of Dread, you never have to worry about it. And with Zane and Mana Focus, you can eliminate the low accuracy that this thing has base, but especially when the double barrel is active, and just shoot fucking laser beams with it regardless. The final thing to mention here is, again, this is using a caught barrel, so it does have that brief spin up time when you start firing. This spin up is not based on how many bullets you fire, so it does have a bit of an inverse synergy with fire rate bonuses, because while this gun has a lot of fire rate and the spin up barrel provides a lot more fire rate, the higher your initial fire rate, the more bullets you're dumping out before you're actually firing at your max DPS. But if you do have access to some sort of weapon charge speed bonus, that does actually reduce spin up time of weapons. Now overall, the Magnificent is just an incredible weapon. It is a solid platform to build off of. There's plenty of cool synergies that that go along with it, it's able to offer a lot to just about any build, and it's very easy to just slot into any build. But it is incredibly simple, and it's also competing in the category of Vladof pistol. Pretty much every Vladof pistol gets left behind in the dust of the light show. The Firefly, the Infinity, and the Miscreant are all unpopular picks in this category, and the Magnificent barely even competes with those in popularity because those are just cooler and more unique guns. But the Magnificent is probably the Vladof pistol. It is literally nothing special aside from what makes a Vladof special. It takes that fire rate and mag size that Vladofs are usually known for and pushes it to its absolute limit. And just for that and how effective the Magnificent still is, I absolutely love this thing. But that's gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I will be live right after this video goes up right here on YouTube and also over my Twitch, where there will be a link to down in the description below. And just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.